I like
I
to
don't think we're live.
There it is. I think it finally went through, did it? There it is.
Now let's play the intro.
Let's play the intro again for the third time. Third time's a charm.
Welcome to the undrafted, uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanger. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
All right, third time's the charm. Welcome back to Undrafted, Uncensored, where it's been a little bit. Are you guys going to make fun of me still?
I'm having a great time.
I mean, we're back, and obviously Nick is running the controls, so
yeah,
we are in
get ready for
form here, folks.
some delayed reactions as we're figuring some stuff out.
Instagram's still being kind of goofy when I switch screens, so they're both live. That's all that matters. The Rams are still winning, and football's back, gentlemen.
Football's back,
and we're back.
Yeah.
So, first things first, we apologize for kind of being gone through this summer. We all had to adult a little bit and do some things, but we obviously kept in contact with each other.
Yes.
We didn't keep in touch with you guys. I mean, those of us that talk to you guys outside of here, we thank you for sticking around with us at least. And as Joe hearts everybody. Gentlemen, welcome back. It's good to see you.
Yeah. It's good to be back live doing shows as Clayton's been waiting and hanging around in the wings for us, but we appreciate you jumping in right away, Clayton.
Clayton's back.
It's good to be with you guys again, ready for the football season as a crazy summer for, I know I can speak for myself. I'm pretty sure for you guys too, but it is a very, very busy summer. And
it has.
Life happens, but it's football season, and now it's all football time. It's football time.
It's football time. And I mean, even after last week, you want to call it week 0, week 1, whatever you want to call it, the Buffs kind of showed a little different team this week than they did last week. Broncos locked up Nick Bonito for several more years, thankfully, at a pretty good price. And Bo Nix is in his second year
in the deal, because it shows like if you can get to that level, we will pay you that kind of money. And if you don't, you're still going to get pretty darn good money, and you're going to get the deal that I think the Broncos kind of thought that he was worth, because he really isn't great in the run. But you know what? Prove us wrong. Get to that $30 million a year with incentives, or just get a shit ton of sacks and make it not matter. Make it so they can't physically run the ball. If it's 2nd and 20, they can't run it. Just saying.
Well, I mean, Micah Parsons isn't that good with the run. So, if the Broncos get 2 first-round picks and a guy like Kenny in return for Benito, maybe that would be a good return on investment.
We could trade
because right now with that trade, Dallas is obviously winning, because Kenny has more sacks than Micah Parsons at this moment in time.
I don't know if you guys saw this. My brother sent me a meme, and it was Jerry Jones' face over Peter Griffin, and it was talking about the Micah Parsons trade. And it's the scene in Family Guy where Peter's like, "Hold on, Lois, a boat's a boat, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat." And it was talking about the Micah Parsons trade because we get a 1st-round draft pick, we can have a Pro Bowl type linebacker. And I'm like, nailed it.
That's perfect. Yeah, I get it. Okay, Lois, we traded away Micah Parsons, but we got 2 first-round picks. One of those could be like a guy like Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Although in football, that actually makes sense, because now you're paying them on a rookie contract. So sadly, that does work, which is not why they did it. It's I love how Jerry tried to equate it to the Herschel Walker trade. 2 first-round picks is anywhere near, unless you do, I forget who it was that traded I think it was the Dolphins, took 1 first-round pick and turned it into 5. over the course of a couple of years. If you can pull off something like that with your late round pick from the Packers, who are going to be good, then you know what? Power to you. But it's not like we expected anything out of the Cowboys this year anyway. So at least we got something fun in the offseason. Hard knocks Cowboys, right?
I expect something out of CeeDee Lamb more than 4 drops. But the one thing I didn't expect, or I guess the one thing that I'm nervous about with these signings for the Broncos or their re-signings is signing Zach Allen. Now, I'm not saying it was a mistake, but what I do what I worry about is the fact that he's been locked up with Vance Joseph ever since Arizona.
Yeah.
And that's kind of his whoopee, his boo. Oh, my dog is literally running with a bag stuck on his foot right now.
That's great. I love it.
Okay. I'll fix that in a second after I get to this point. But come here. Come here, dog.
He's a good dog. He's such a good dog.
But
oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Oh man, you gotta love live streams.
Oh, that's great. But
okay, I'm gonna get this fixed. I'll get to my point in a moment.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. I mean, I think we kind of got the point to an extent. Like he's saying that paying that much money to a guy like Zach Allen might end up backfiring, especially once Vance Joseph leaves. Is he still going to be good? Is that kind of the road you were going down, Colin?
Kind of the path I was going down, but instead of paying John Franklin Myers, because I think John Franklin Myers can be just as impactful, and I don't think it would have cost the same, or you knew that the production could be there with different regimes, because you've seen it. You saw it happen with the Jets, and you saw it happen, obviously, with the Broncos. Now, yeah, it was under Vance Joseph, and he's been known to be a very good defensive coordinator, except for 70 in Miami. And that's never going to get forgotten amongst us girls here.
Never forget.
Oh no,
yeah, never going to forget that. But I do worry. Yes, at the end of the day, if Vance Joseph leaves, will Zach Allen fit into another scheme? Because JFM has proved that he can do that. He's also a louder voice in the locker room than Zach Allen. And on Twitter and Mr. Keyboard Warrior over there. I don't blame him for wanting a contract, but I don't think this is the same thing as even the Clark, right? Clark from KC when he came over here situation where he just was not happy about being a Bronco.
Clark.
Yeah.
Or not,
I mean,
the linebacker.
he led
2 years ago.
I was going to say he led such a impactful moment that all of us really remember him so well.
Totally know who you're talking about. Absolutely.
So I go back and look at Football Reference and I'm like, oh, that guy. Yeah.
I still got nothing. But, that's a possibility. I like John Franklin Myers for sure. And I thought that might end up being the route they take in order to pay guys like Nick Bonito and Cortland Sutton. But I think they got everybody on relatively affordable deals. So Franklin Myers, he still may end up taking a deal like later in the season, kind of a hometown discount to an extent. Or he might be one of those guys that tests free agency and then comes back anyway, But, I can totally see that.
And the Broncos have done such a good job, too, though, of keeping everything internal. They, there's been no animosities since George Payton started, other than the Russell Wilson thing. But I mean, that's a whole other story. I mean, that's really the only.
No, Russ wasn't upset at all.
Yeah, Russ wasn't. But I mean, that's really been the only bad thing. He's been able to keep a lot, all these guys that have wanted to stay here. He's been able to keep them happy, keep the fans happy, and keep the organization happy.
Sorry, I'm finding it. No, it's the same. It's a home dude who said, "Oh well, it's after he left KC." Like I said, because he was like, "Oh yeah, well it wasn't really a competition because we always beat him."
I remember the comments. I just don't remember the dude. That's my problem.
Yeah, 'cause, like it wasn't Justin Houston, it wasn't like Tamba Hali. I'm trying to think like former Chiefs defensive guys. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I can see that being the case to an extent. But Zach Allen's been really good. And so I think rewarding him with a contract is the way to go. And maybe they end up paying John Franklin Myers and then trading Zach Allen to somebody like, Frank Clark. I always think of him from the Seahawks. I never think of him with the Chiefs. But you're right. He played for the Chiefs for a while. Mm-hmm. Probably won a Super Bowl or two with them. Yeah, I forgot about old Frank Clark. Okay, his name even was Clark, and I still couldn't think of it. That's awesome.
Because he was. Well, I knew it. I was like, but he was yelling at the media in the practice and everything like that, and there was just a lot of noise, and that's what I worry about with Franklin Myers.
I think with the way Peyton runs things, though, I don't think JFM's really gonna cause a whole lot of stir right now. I mean, these guys they're in a window where I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but a lot of people are starting to look at the Broncos in a championship window, and if you get a chance to get a ring, you might start taking back some of those words and keeping them tucked in a little bit until.
Well, yeah, but it was with Sean. I mean, that did happen with Sean Payton too.
Yeah.
So he was coaching when that happened. So it's just you don't want anything to rock the boat too much.
No.
You can rock the Casbah, but you don't want to rock the boat.
It's true. And I don't think he'll do that. I think he's been pretty tame with his stuff. He's just been putting it out there and just kind of doing his due diligence of just making it known, I want a new deal. Let's try to talk. I think he realizes he's not going to be the priority over Benito or Zach Allen or Courtland Sutton. But if he gets some kind of consideration at some point, I think he'll really appreciate that. Maybe he will give a little bit of a discount. Maybe if you front load some guarantees for a guy that's been able to produce pretty good numbers for you. So I can see that working out for him as well. But I don't think he'll do too much disruptiveness. I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times. This could be one of those times.
Well, and I mean, you got some injuries on the defensive side already too. So there's the ability for you to step up a little bit more as well, and really fill some holes, no pun intended, and really make your presence known and show that you're worth that value.
Yeah. I just, like I said, I found it surprising. I'm happy they re-signed one of them and they'll be here. I think that really overall in the offseason it was relatively tame. We all anticipated Benito being signed by the time the season started. I think that would have caused an issue within the locker room possibly, but we're here. I mean, 12, 16 hours away from kickoff.
Yep.
Can't wait. And nobody seemed worried. Like nobody was tweeting out super angry stuff. Like Benito had that one cryptic tweet and then that was it. And then we had like a week or two of silence and nobody else seemed upset. There was nothing resembling the Micah Parsons situation at all. So I feel like the Broncos just did a really good job of communicating with everybody and handling their bignitude, And so now we go into the season as Nick kind of teased it a little bit as I wouldn't say Super Bowl contenders, but definitely playoff contenders. To quote Jim Mora, playoffs. And so technically once you're in, you can get in. I said this with my guy, Dan Jacobs. I think the Broncos are Super Bowl contenders in the same way that like the Derrick Henry Titans were Super Bowl contenders or the Joe Burrow Bengals who did, mess around and make it to the Super Bowl. So anything is possible, to quote Kevin Garnett. But I mean, I put them behind probably 4 or 5 teams right now as Super Bowl contenders. Therefore, I feel like it takes them out of that tier of Super Bowl and more so of just, playoff contender, could definitely beat you in any given Sunday type situation. Whereas last year it was like, man, we're going to need a miracle to beat Buffalo because we can't stop the run. And lo and behold,
Well, yeah, it was going to take a miracle. But since you mentioned basketball real quick, one thing I got to say is a shout out to some of the people watching right now. Fitted Nuggets fan, if you don't know who he is, you see him at games, he'll give you some stuff. But courtside Karen.
Oh, yeah,
What's up? Yeah, Fitted Nuggets fan is watching. Vanessa, appreciate you. And Jung out in Jersey, appreciate everyone tuning in that I see. Obviously, Clayton, we saw you earlier. Appreciate everyone tuning in, catching up, letting us catch up on our off season where we haven't had a chance to really sit down with each other and go into all of these topics. And
there was even kind of some Nuggets news today. Team Serbia, rest in peace, fell in single combat to Team Finland and Lauri Markkanen.
You could say they're finished.
You could say they've been finished. That's fantastic.
Oh, Colin, how I missed your
that
dad.
Makes me so happy. Yeah, it was really sad. I was this close to paying for a subscription service to watching the FIBA tournament, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. But then again, also, if I did, maybe they win. So, it could be my fault. We don't know.
You can get around that, right?
No, it's a little bit more difficult, but we won't go into that.
As of a few days ago, especially.
Yes.
I've got away, but I'll let you guys know later.
Leave it between us then.
Yeah.
Between us girls.
And just so you guys know, because I know you guys know I was watching it, CSU just narrowly got by the UNC Bears by the skin of their teeth. They won 21-17. Almost gave it up in the last few seconds with a little Hail Mary pass.
Oh, so they didn't go all Florida on it.
Not completely, no.
Good. That's good.
That was an ugly game. Ugly game. Not unlike the Buffs, who actually looked better in the second half, I should say. Still a little rough in the first half, in my opinion, but they got on track. They did what they were supposed to do, and they beat a team they were supposed to beat. And what do you guys think about this quarterback thing?
Yeah, well, they won the Wayne's World game, so that's nice. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
I was going to say, did they were they throwing pickles at the windows at the fast food joint? Like, which Wayne's World thing is it? Who's going to touch a boob first in the basement?
I'm in Delaware. Yeah. Dude, if you're going to spew. But no, honestly, man, it feels like there's a little bit of a controversy brewing. It feels like that backup kid might be pressing for some more playing time, especially just because Pat Shurmur is incapable of changing his offense. And the guy who can throw passes can play in 3 wide better than the running quarterback, because Pat Shurmur's not going to design good option plays for the running quarterback or anything.
Yeah, Ryan Staub is who you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. Matt Schaub.
He looked good. I mean,
he did
for the game, for the portion of the game I saw him, and when I was listening to it on my way to a retirement party, he was putting on a show. And he's a sophomore. Go ahead, Colin.
I just
get down.
This is a lot of what are we waiting for? I think seeing game one, I know it was game one. Let Juju play. Just what are we waiting for as Buffs Nation? Like, you lost your first game. I think any hopes of even being in a playoff now are gone. I mean, you have to win the conference to get a chance. And I don't see that happening with this team. So you might as well get your lumps with Juju. I feel bad for, Salter coming in from Liberty, obviously finally getting his chance now that Shedeur is gone. But this is now college football is not as much about the now. It's about trying to build for as quick of a future as possible.
Yeah.
Because you have to recruit. And if you're going to get guys into this program from this year on into the next season, it's not going to be with showing them tape of the quarterback who's not going to be throwing them the ball next year.
No.
So you gotta let Juju play. Why not? I mean, you
brought
could
him in
show
for a
all
reason.
these amazing Pat Shurmur play calls that happened. That
Really?
might be really enticing for some guys trying to get in the NFL because we sure showed how good that offense was when your top receivers are drafted in the 6th, 7th, and 8th round.
And
I
Shador
believe,
falls
besides
to the
Travis.
He's a unicorn though.
Yeah,
So I mean, that was inevitable.
Yeah, I think
You
it's going to be a detriment to getting guys into the league because of the just same old Pat Shurmur kind of bullshit. And I think you might even fuck around and have Juju transfer because he doesn't want to get ruined, tainted by the teachings of Pat Shurmur, and he'd rather go somewhere better that's going to actually prepare him for the NFL. If the precedent is being a 5th round quarterback, like, you know what? Maybe you do want to go somewhere else.
Well, and here's the stats too. Juju went 2 for 4 for 8 yards, average of 2 yards a catch. Oof. 1 sack, a quarterback rating of 66.8. Staub was 7 for 10 for 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 sack, 267.9 rating. And Salter was 13 for 16 for 102, 6.4 average. Did take 3 sacks, though, 134.8 rating.
Okay. I was just saying, damn, that's pretty efficient. And then the sacks. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think anyone really had super high expectations for this particular Buffs team anyway. This kind of felt like one of those down years that I think we'll see less and less in college, especially for some of the teams that just get a whole bunch of transfers. But I don't think CU will be able to attract that many transfers like they did last year every single year. But I think they can build for the future. So maybe they do just think Juju's not ready, and they would rather – they feel like his time is better spent sitting and learning instead of, Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. But again, I'm not sure I trust – the evaluations of Pat Shurmur. I mean, by his logic, Juju had the best game because he threw the most incompletions.
Well, he had the highest incompletion percentage.
Exactly.
That's what he's looking for. He's looking at the incompletion percentage.
We were actually trying to throw incompletions.
Hey, shout out to my cousin Matt out in Florida. Sorry about your Cowboys, but enjoy Javante's 2 touchdowns because you won't see many more of them. Him and my Uncle Ron, or I call him Uncle, but they're Cowboys fans. So we had lots of talks, especially when I was drafting CeeDee Lamb, number 1 overall. But going back to Juju, the thing you have to worry about in today's college football is, maybe it's not him transferring because he thinks he has a better chance of being in the pro somewhere else. It's because he's not playing.
Yeah.
It's because he's not getting his opportunities. If you're
playing, you're making the NIL money, and that's right now. That's the big thing.
Yeah, well, and he's probably making some NIL money. I wonder how. By the way, I wonder how the NIL money is done with the Buffs box. Is that all going to CU? Because I've bought a few of them. I donated to the cause.
I bought one just because. So this irritated the hell out of me. I went and bought one like the day they came out. I didn't know they were coming out.
I didn't.
And so I was like, "Oh, Buffs box, okay. Let me give that a whirl with the new Midnight Mountain Dew Baja." I was like, "Yeah, this is going to be a great day." So I get my Mountain Dew Baja, and I'm all happy. And it's actually the Midnight one is pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I get home, I open my bag, and on the cup, it even tells you what is included in said Buffs box.
Oh, good.
I got the burrito that it came with. And then I got 4 soft tacos. I'm like, what did I order? Did I order this? And I look at the cup and I'm like,
nope.
That is not even close to what I ordered.
Cheesy Gordita Crunch Doritos Locos Taco.
And that's the word I love the cheesy Gordita Crunch. That's like my thing. Because they got rid of the double-decker taco, so I get the cheesy Gordita Crunch instead. And I was like, this isn't even close. I didn't even get cinnamon twists. I got the burrito was the only thing I got that was on there.
You got burrito and soft tacos.
And 4 soft tacos. I'm like, what did the people behind me order at this point?
I'm not gonna lie.
Probably
I can crush, of all things at fast food that I can crush, some soft taco supremes.
Oh yeah.
Like a 10-pack of those I could do in a sitting.
Oh yeah. They go. Yeah, those go so fast.
But it's not what you were expecting.
No, it was not what I was expecting. I was a little angry about it.
It's not ideal.
But I see where you're coming from though. Like, who gets them? Because they have different players on the cup.
Yeah.
So I got Juju's cup.
Sweet.
And so, have you gotten different players on your cups?
Yeah, I've actually gotten all different players the 4 or 5 times I've gotten, like 4 times I've gotten it.
Okay, I don't remember how many cups they have, but yeah.
Colin's gonna catch them all.
I didn't play Pokemon, but I called Buffdemon.
There you go. That sounds like some weird niche website. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's.
But yeah, I mean, for the Buffs though, I feel like their path into the playoffs was always winning the conference championship because I don't think they were ever going to be good enough record-wise to do anything else. And they're not going to expand anything this year anyway, so it's going to be the 12, I believe. But I think that was always
There
their
were
only
still
hope.
large bids last year.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to do anything this year. I guess maybe, but I think their only hope because they were never going to be that good. You just got to hope you can win the tournament, get into the because it is a couple rounds before you get into the conference championship. But
that's
kind of their only hope.
3 total games if you're not a conference winner.
Okay, so that's what you have to go for. That's it. That's your Obi-Wan Kenobi, your only hope. And maybe that's not actually achievable even this year. I feel like you should have beat Delaware by more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just decided to get a look at multiple quarterbacks and take this opportunity to get some real game action, almost like they treated it kind of like a preseason game once they were up.
Well, it's usually that week 2 game though. Like most colleges after week 1 will, kind of put a little wimpy team against you in the second week just to kind of get your motivation going if you failed in the first week.
And they used to do it in the first week to really get you pumped up. But now a lot of teams are doing it week 2. And not all of them. Like we were watching outside Boston College and Michigan State. That was a fun game. I think it was Bill O'Brien coaching Boston College, if I'm not mistaken. That's who it looked like. But, yeah, I feel like they should have done a little bit better. But at the same time, maybe they just wanted to get a good look at those other guys and get some scouting done. Maybe we'll see more of a multi-quarterback system going forward. I don't know, man. I feel like the Buffs are on a trajectory of losing a whole bunch of games and firing their offensive coordinator, just like they did with, I want to say Sean Lewis, or is that the defensive coordinator now?
Yeah, no, it's Lewis.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the best thing for the team in general because Pat Shurmur might have been the best thing for Shedeur Sanders. It's what happened. But I feel like for the Buffs going forward, like I don't know if we're going to go fully back to the triple option that we all know and love, but you got to put a much bigger emphasis on running the football, especially when your best strength this particular season might be your offensive line.
Well, you got a couple of running backs too that look really good. I mean, Price looks like a bull when he runs, man. That kid cannot be brought down without group tackling. It seems like he's put some pretty good runs out there, in my opinion, and I like watching him run.
Yeah, that's what they need. And then your guy in quarterback almost doesn't matter. Maybe that's what they do. They do a multi thing where they just mess with you. You know what? We're going to come out here with Caden Salter, and now you don't know who's going to carry the ball, but you're going to be concerned about it. And then we're going to put in Juju, and it's like, oh, no, now he's going to go deep. And then, no, we're just going to keep running the ball.
But that leads to so many other problems for the future, for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think and that's what I'm saying. These guys, well, Salter's gone after this year.
Yeah, so I don't think this
so Staub is in his 3rd year, I believe, of eligibility. This is his 2nd year with the Buffs because he started the last game of the season last year. I don't know if you guys started against Utah.
Yeah.
So when he doesn't have a lot of time left, and Juju is the hype.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we all saw him get the keys from Shedeur when they brought him in. Literally gave him the keys.
And he will. Well, he doesn't really have to give the keys back. He'll take the car with him because it's probably in some sort of prenup.
Doesn't have to give the keys back.
but that's college football these days. If these guys aren't playing and they're not getting the attention they want, they're not going to be happy.
No.
And that's one thing that Prime, I think, does understand as a coach, while he might not be great or even maybe good at X's and O's. He does understand that these guys and getting attention on them is important. So having these other quarterbacks, I think 2 weeks at the most, maybe not this coming week, but I can't remember who the game is 2 weeks from now. But I think Juju's got to be starting by that point in time, or else you're risking losing him to this offseason. Wyoming lost today too, I think. Could be wrong.
Let me check. No, they're 2-0.
That's a very real possibility. And it's not like you can trade him and get something back, like Kenny Clark and a couple of first-round picks. So
you don't get anything back.
That's a real possibility. That's a huge test for Deion Sanders' recruiting skills. Can he keep these kids around if it gets to that point? Because we also don't totally know exactly what kind of coach Deion Sanders is going to be. Is he going to be willing to take a few L's for a season and let Juju catch his lumps? Or is he going to be that guy, that Michael Malone-esque guy who just needs to win every game because he wants to win? Because that's what Deion Sanders, I think
he's a little more understanding of the situation he's in now, and I think he'll kind of take a few lumps in order to get Juju to a point.
Maybe, I hope so. But maybe he also wants to be Nick Saban and just win all the time.
So I guess quick question.
Yeah.
I mean, I said within 2 weeks, Juju's got to be starting. What do you guys think? Like, do you think it's this season? Do you think they go with the rotation? What is it that you're predicting for this team? Is it even Staub that goes in there? Like, what do you guys see happening?
I mean, it's going to change late in the season. I think at some point they're going to put Juju in. I'm going to say it's really going to be dependent on where they sit with their record, and if they're sitting at 2-4 at some point, and there's no way they're making a bowl game or the postseason, then they're going to throw Juju in there and let Shermer it up, I guess, because we all know Prime's going to defend him like there's no end, just like he did last week when we all saw him just snap on the media. And it's like, dude, we've all been through this Shermer song and dance before. we kind of know his MO at this point.
Yeah, and it's even worse for college football because 3 wide is not like a tried and true thing that works all the time in college. Just no fullback, tight end, 3 wide receiver. Like, that's all he ever did. And I'm sure he did maybe less of that recently, but I don't know, man. It's all I think of when I hear Pat Shermer. Honestly, man, I have a feeling about that Staub kid. I have a feeling that, and maybe not even that he is the guy, but that the coaching staff thinks he's the guy. And like Coach Prime showed some real love to this kid at the end of that game. And he had a good game, and like I said, he's the cleanest passer of the 3 because Juju's so young. He's the most talented passer. He's got.
I thought it was because he didn't get sacked.
Also true. But like something about the way that and the way that like almost his being, it felt like Rudy almost. Like it just excited the team that he was going in there, kind of that underdog mentality to an extent. So I have a feeling that they may end up giving Staub a longer look than Colin wants them to.
Well, I know we don't want to stick on this that much longer, but if you give Staub the opportunity this year, then you're saying, Juju, you're sitting for 2 seasons, and you'll start your 3rd year. because that or you're telling Staub that he's transferring out because he's not going to the NFL. And I can't see that for such a high profile 5-star recruit in today's college football. If this was 10 years, hell, 5 years ago, yes, but not now, not today, not where we sit. And I just pulled up the schedule. So it's Houston this week or next week, next Friday, and then Wyoming, which we just talked about, which I said I think should be it. But then the Buffs go, they play BYU, TCU, Iowa State, Utah, Arizona, and West Virginia. So, but the next 3 or actually 4 games are tough games. You got a BYU team that smoked you in the bowl game, even though everyone only played a half. They still smoked you. TCU is going to be out for blood. Do you really want to start Juju in that game and have him going up against the Horned Frogs team who's pissed off still from 2 years ago? Then you got number 16 Iowa State and then number 25 Utah. If you're going to get him in there, you better do it soon to get him acclimated to some of this college game. Or else then you're looking at the end of the season and you have to play number 12 Arizona State and then Kansas State to wrap it up.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
So how much experience are you going to get? Are you going to give him the stop treatment and give him the last game of the year? And some experience there.
Like the arch naming type thing, except when this situation, your Quinn Ewers is still going to be on the roster.
Yeah.
Which honestly, though, I could see that working. Just benching Staub for Juju because now Juju's actually ready, and then you have a guy like Staub, almost as like your Tom Brady backup, just never throwing any passes in college.
Juju Lewis is Drew Bledsoe. Everybody, you heard it here first.
Yes, yeah, Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe.
But I could see that dynamic kind of working out, but the Buffs would have to kind of be bad or mid with Staub as the quarterback. Because if they go even to the conference championship and lose a close game or whatever, it's almost going to be like we can win one with this guy. We just need to, get a little bit closer, tighten things up a little bit more. We just need to throw practice more incompletions. So you almost kind of need Staub, or if they stick with Caden Salter, to be kind of mid so that you can argue putting Juju in as the starter next year. And then, you have to hope that he learned and matured a whole hell of a lot on the sidelines, a la Arch Manning, Aaron Rodgers, in NFL. But he'll get a little bit of playing time here and there. But I think it's tough, man, because I don't think we've seen enough about the CU team to really know what they are in terms of like how good they even really are, and are they good at certain things that they just won't do, like run the football?
Go ahead, Colin.
My last thing, I think it runs a lot deeper than that. If you don't pull the trigger and put your highest recruit in, what does that tell what does that tell other recruits? What does that tell the rest of the team? That you're not willing to make the big move? Because I don't see Staub being able to be the guy who can beat BYU, TCU, Iowa State. Like I don't see him as that type of quarterback. Maybe he's a winner in some ways, but he's not going to win you that game. Where Juju has the skill set to do that. Now, can he? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But you got to figure it out.
Investors, possibly you. That's Juju. And you got to find out. I like it. That's very true.
Well, I mean, I think part of the problem too is we didn't have Prime out there for the spring and summer stuff because of all his cancer stuff. So what we would normally see or get out of those practices, we have no idea what happened over the summer because, thankfully they have a camera around him all the time except for when he's not there. So we didn't have all these YouTube videos and, social media posts about what these kids are doing. And that kind of hurts what we're able to see too. So we're basing this on what Prime is seeing, which is about the same amount we're seeing right now.
Also, I'm really happy that his coach tent is sponsored by Depends. That makes me smile a whole lot. I also love that the Tush Push is now sponsored by Dude Wipes. Good work, everyone. Good work,
Except for
everyone.
Red Zone.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Uh,
On the
yeah.
plus side, there's another big team that's got a football game tomorrow. How are we feeling about this Denver Broncos team? And I mean, obviously, we touched on it a little bit. Some people are starting to say that they're in their championship window. I'm thinking the window's open and they've got their arms on the windowsill looking in right now because they fell into the playoffs last year. And this year is going to be a tougher road because, you play better, you get a tougher schedule. And they're going to have to fight a little bit more this year. Where are we at?
I'm nervous because of defensive injuries already. I mean, Greenlaw being out, that's one of those big signings. The offense, Bo Nix showed me a lot last year. I told you I was impressed. Surprised me. The team surprised me.
You're welcome.
My 2 preseason win pick looked really bad there at the end as they as they kept racking up those victories. But I am excited about this team and where they're going. There's some things I would like to see differently. Can Troy Franklin continue to improve? Can Marvin Mims keep ascending? Is this wide receiver group going to be good enough to be a core like the Bengals have? I'm not saying that they're going to be Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but can they be a core like that? You have Jefferson and Addison. Well, some of the times you have Jefferson and Addison in Minnesota, but you have these wide receiver cores that are together, and you have a guy that's a star. It can take some time for these guys to develop. I've said this before. It takes about 3 years for wide receivers. Now, some of them come on the scene right away and are full-blown blast off and breaking records. That's not what the Broncos have, at least at this moment. Pat Bryant, possibly, I don't think we'll get to know because Cortland Sutton is still here. The offense worries me because 3 years ago in training camp, the things that were being said were, this defense is really good, so that's why the offense doesn't look good. You know what we're saying in this year's training camp?
Yep.
Well, they're going up against the best defense.
Yep.
You know what? If you're a damn good offense, especially in training camp, you got to be able to produce. And they didn't produce in the preseason. So,
no.
Yes, I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous of a possible step back for Bo Nix. But at the end of the day, I'm excited about this team, and I'm more excited about the Broncos, and I'm hopeful for the first time in a while that things are trending in the right direction. Now, I don't know if that means that Bo Nix is the answer still, but I think things are going the right way because I think they have a roster and some guys on this roster that are capable of capable of being a contender. You have a lot of really great pieces. Like I said, I'm not sold on all of them, but you don't have to be sold on every single piece on a roster to win a championship. You just need the right pieces clicking in the right season for that to happen. We saw it happen with Trent Dilfer before, all right? So it can happen with
the Dilf.
I'm not saying Bo Nix is Trent Dilfer, but it can happen with a second-year quarterback in Bo Nix, who was taken as the fifth quarterback off the board. Hey, Flacco.
Yeah, to quote Kurt Russell in Miracle, I'm not looking for the best players. I'm looking for the right ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they do have a lot of the right players, though. I legitimately do, and I think they're going to get victories because of that.
I think if they had a little bit more Lil Jordan Humphrey, I'd be more confident. No, I think they're going to be good. I am excited. I am definitely concerned about the offense. I'm more concerned with Sean Payton just getting excited by the toys in his toy box, the tools in his belt, and kind of like how he did with the running backs last year, and just constantly moving stuff around and never really having an identity, which it didn't feel like this team had last year. It kind of just felt like do whatever. We'll try to throw to Cortland Sutton. We'll do a lot of quick passes to Javonte Williams, and he'll get 2 yards. That's not an identity. I think J.K. Dobbins is going to help a lot with that. I think R.J. Harvey will help a lot with that going forward, maybe sooner. But I think having a real tight end, not just an offensive lineman that plays tight end, will make a big difference also.
Or 5 of them.
But, like, at the same time, man, I can see a lot of it getting lost in the shuffle. I can see Sean Payton not seeing the forest through the trees and doing a bunch of crazy, weird stuff and putting the team into third and long situations because you tried to do something weird on second down with Marvin Mims in the backfield, which should happen sometimes because you can get like some 65-yard plays off of that every once in a while. It was sweet last year. So that's kind of what concerns me. And then on the defense, can they stop the run? Like, Dre Greenlaw's already hurt. Already not going to play the first couple of weeks. And Alex Singleton, while being a good fundamental tackler and all that, is not someone that, like, strikes fear in the hearts of running backs like Nick strikes fear in the hearts of his camera. That's always going to be the biggest question mark for me with this defense until they finally do it. It's stopping the run, especially in a division with the Chargers, who are going to run the ball to a fault. And the Chiefs, who have 2 good running backs, neither of which get you anything in fucking fantasy football. But
Well, I mean, yes, the Chargers will run the ball, but also, did you see what they did Friday night? They threw the damn ball, and it's the problem with the Broncos. Not running backs have hurt them, but it's been the tight ends over the last few years. And now look at what the Chargers did. They had Conklin and Disley, who for some reason the announcers on YouTube couldn't remember that it was Conklin who caught the ball like 10 times. They kept saying that Disley caught it and fumbled. I was like, dude, it's Conklin. It's obviously Conklin. But beyond that point, the tight ends in this division have always been an Achilles heel for the Broncos. And Kelsey looks just fine. I mean, he's strong enough to knock his own players out. What's he going to do to the Broncos defense, the guys they don't like? You have Brock Bowers, obviously Disley and Conklin. There's pass catching running backs. Kareem Hunt is in Kansas City.
Yes, he is.
Omari and Hampton can cast the ball out of the backfield for the Chargers, and then you have Ashton Genty, who is an all-around beast. So yeah, those 2 things, but it's a lot of that middle of that second layer, which is the linebackers. Yeah, are they going to be able to not bite on the run when it's a pass and leave that wide open for those playmaking tight ends in this league? And are they going to be able to recognize what scheme they're in? So defense, the defense is kind of yet to be seen because, once again, they look good against a second-year quarterback in preseason.
Yeah, and they did better against tight ends last year than they had in previous years, but they still weren't like super good. Brock Bowers still had a really good game against them. I don't think Travis Kelce did anything too crazy, but
he didn't do much at all last year.
Exactly. So I don't know how much you can attribute to the Broncos defense, or you can just attribute that to Taylor Swift. But that's definitely the next question mark for sure is stopping the tight end and getting better at that than they were last year. And they were better last year, but that's because they were horrible before that.
Okay.
They were just some of the worst. If you can just improve at both those things a little bit or one of those things a lot, then you have a chance to be the best defense in the league. Absolutely. And I think they still will be very good, especially against heavily passing teams. But man, if they have any issues against the run whatsoever, it's going to be a long season. And then that's going to put even more pressure on Bo Nix and the offense and the running game to stay on the field longer and eat up that time of possession so that your defense doesn't get exposed. If that's the case with the middle of the defense, maybe all of a sudden being without Malcolm Roach and Dre Greenlaw, that might make a difference.
Yeah, it's easier to go from 30th against the tight end to 15th than it is to even move from 15th up to the top 10.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's an identity thing. That's why the Steelers every single year are so feared. It's not just because they have Watt over there playing. Like, that's a big part of it, but their defense is feared. You don't.
They've
go
always
over the
been a
middle.
good defense.
The Ravens, like these teams consistently year in, year out, have these guys and they have an identity. The Broncos haven't established that. It feels like they have guys who could establish one, but they got to play.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, got to see it to believe it. I could see them stumbling a little bit week one. I don't know if that means necessarily a loss. I don't know if that means the end of everything, even if that happens. Well, because in 2005, the Broncos got blown out by the Dolphins, who were terrible. They went on to win, go 13-2 the rest of the games that season because they went 13-3. So crazy things can happen week one. And that might be one of those things that galvanizes the team going forward. But I don't know, man. I feel like early on there might be a little bit of a stumble. But that being said, you should still be able to beat the Titans while stumbling.
Yeah, well, it's week one, so we're excited to see what goes on. And with week one, it's also easy to make fake bets with fake money. So, Colin, are you ready?
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin, just kind of winging it.
Oh, Nick, I do commend you on your effort with that intro, but this is the victory formation where we make real bets
with fake
money.
Yeah.
We keep track of it to let you know who did the best all year long. I don't have updated ones from when we last did it, but I do have picks from this week. I will get everything updated as we go along. I'm still setting up the new house in the studio, hence a completely empty room behind me. It's a process in the move. So, with that being said, we get into the games for this weekend, and we're just going to start it off with the one thing that we know is always coming. It's Nick's favorite thing. It's Sunday Night Baseball.
Sunday Night Baseball.
It's the Sunday afternoon edition because there are no night games this Sunday. It's the latest game on the slate. Red Sox visiting the D-backs. Two of Nick's favorite teams. We know he's not going to choose the Red Sox unless he wants to win.
He might, just because you said that.
Red Sox and D-backs. It's a completely even, -110 for each side.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Nick, who you got?
Oh, I hate this as much as I hate my life right now. Actually, no, that didn't work out at all. I'm going to go, I'm going to roll with the Diamondbacks. I think they're going to sneak one out in Chase Field. They're home. And the Red Sox are still fighting for their life, and their pitching's been a little questionable.
Joe?
I found out recently that Trevor Story plays for the Red Sox.
Because you saw a home run from him?
Yeah, that weird one that went off the guy's glove or whatever. Yeah. So we'll do that.
I am also going with the Red Sox against the D-backs. D-backs trade away all their talent, and the Red Sox, I still feel like, will play above their competition. That moves us on to there's 3 great games this weekend besides the Broncos game. Actually, there's a few more than that. But the other marquee daytime matchup on Sunday, it is the Lions facing off against the Packers.
Oof.
Lions +110 underdog. Packers -130 home favorites. Is Micah Parsons going to play? Does it even matter? Joe, who you got?
I just Lions. No real good reason.
I placed a bet in May for the Lions to win this game as part of a parlay, and everything looks good to me. except for this one right now.
Parlay.
So you know what? I'd rather be right on here than in my parlay because I made enough money in my picks. I'm gonna pick the Packers to win this game, even with the injured left hand of Jordan Love. Not really injured, whatever.
He's right-handed anyway.
Nick, are you going with your second quarterbacks team
Yes,
in fantasy? Are you going with the Packers?
I'm going with the Pack.
Oh man, Nick, the king of backup quarterbacks.
Hey, guess what? You can make fun of me all you want. My strategy worked.
It did work.
Why are you picking Jaden? Why are you picking Jaden? You already got a quarterback. How'd that trade work out for you there, Bob?
Well, I mean, my running backs are really thin right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I gave you a wide receiver I really like, but that's okay.
I appreciate it.
We're okay. I needed a quarterback. So I traded for Jaden Daniels in our fantasy league with Nick right away. Yeah. So moving on to the Sunday night football game. Ravens minus 125 up against the Bills. Home underdogs at plus 105. This is the Bills all the way. Josh Allen at home opener. Give me the Bills. Nick, who you got?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. It's definitely the Bills. They're on a mission this year.
Joe?
Yeah, I think Buffalo's the way to go.
All right, you better pick the Ravens because we swept that one for Buffalo. And a very sneaky good game that I think is going to be a really good game is Monday Night Football. This is the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Chicago Bears. J.J. McCarthy's debut, more than the throwing in a hallway at a hotel at the Combine. So the Vikings favorites minus 120, Bears at an even 100 for this home opener. Who wins the matchup of second-year quarterbacks with one of the second-year quarterbacks making his first start?
Oh, that's it's the Bears. I mean,
Yeah.
They look better. Well, they looked better in the preseason at least. They look like they have an organized offense now. And so I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do.
Helps getting a coach who knows what he's doing. Or Joe, who you got?
The Bears look pretty good. Ben Johnson's a smart coordinator, head coach, I think now. Caleb Williams is a talented quarterback. They've definitely done a lot of work on that defense, so I think they're going to be a lot better, and I think they're still going to lose to the Vikings. I just feel
Damn it, I already typed it on the other one, Joe.
I think the Vikings have just a little bit more consistency. This feels like one of those games that's really boring, even if it's relatively high scoring. And I feel like the Vikings edge it out that much more, maybe just because of something crazy that Justin Jefferson does. Or Adam Thielen makes some big catch over the middle or whatever. I don't know. This feels really close to me, so fuck it, Vikings.
I definitely don't see it being high scoring as I drafted the Minnesota Vikings defense all around because of this matchup in week one. I do think that this Vikings defense is legitimate, and Aaron Jones early in the year is pretty damn good. He's not injured yet, and that running game can be good. Aaron Jones had a good year last year, but I think that the Vikings defense stands strong in this game, even getting a random touchdown because of some dumbass play that Ben Johnson tries to pull out a la Sean Payton like, or the Indianapolis Colts like style from last season where it's just, why are you doing that with those playmakers there? Give me the Vikings and their defense to score me a bunch of points in fantasy and a victory. And that does it for the victory formation. But we'll have more bets with fake money on our next show.
Well,
we could do some fake bets with real money too if you want.
And while we do that, we'll take some night driving.
Oh, that's what I was doing on the way in here. Hey, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Matt. I think I got everybody who tuned in. Appreciate y'all, at least on my Facebook.
Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Michael Spill, and everybody over at e5280sports.com for hosting us, having us back, and putting up with our lack of summer shows. Also, thank you guys for putting up with our lack of summer shows. We're back, we're better than ever, and we are ready to rock and or roll.
Well, like Colin said, it's easier to go from 30th to 15th. So,
for Colin Zaker and Joe Goodwin, I am Nick Archuleta. This has been Undrafted Uncensored. We will see you guys next week.
Go Knights! We're in the championship. Championship for men's baseball. Let's go.
I didn't wear a hat.
Go Broncos. Go
Broncos.
Football. Go America. Go everybody. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.